Hello again. Now, Britain's Defence Secretary Michael Fallon has admitted that British cluster munitions have been used by Saudi Arabia in the conflict in Yemen.
Well, we're only aware of this single allegation that has now been fully investigated by the Saudi authorities, a single allegation that cluster munitions were used in this particular incident around the turn of the year, and, as the Saudis have made clear today, have been dropped by a coalition aircraft.
The cluster bombs were apparently sold to Saudi Arabia in the 1980s before the munitions were prohibited in 2010. In May, Amnesty International did report that UK bombs had been used in Yemen. Back then, UK officials said they could have come from a previous conflict. Well, we spoke to Paul Monaghan, a Scottish National Party MP, and he doubts that the bombs used in the conflict were actually as old as the British Defence Secretary claims.
The information that we have available now suggests that the Ministry of Defence and indeed Michael Fallon know that the Saudi Arabia, they are being economical with the truth when they suggest that. These cluster bombs seem to be much newer than that, and we really do need to know what Michael Fallon has indeed in terms of insight into this whole situation, which appears to be heading towards farce. The 2010 agreement makes it essentially a war crime for cluster bombs to be used by any of the signatory states, but equally important is the fact that signatory states, and that includes the UK, have a duty to make sure that cluster bombs are not used by any other state. That's a very important point that Mr Fallon is probably going to have to answer to.
Well, a cluster bomb is a type of munition that blasts out metal fragments. Reportedly, 98% of victims of the weapon are civilian. They were first used in the Second World War. 100 countries, though, have ratified the Convention on Cluster Munitions that bans their use. That's how the news looks for the moment. More in about half an hour's time. Before that, though, the plight of tens of thousands of unaccompanied refugee children is looked at after they've gone missing in Europe.